Harry Potter is a fandom full of various theories concocted by the fanbase. Whether it's theories about the sections of the world yet to be covered, or characters we have followed throughout all of the films, they are all interesting. But did you know that there is a theory about Dumbledore being the real enemy all along? Well, stay tuned to today's video as we discuss a villainous Harry Potter theory. First up, Dark Wizarding World Theory says Dumbledore is Harry Potter's real enemy. There are many theories based on the Harry Potter universe, but the theory we're going to be talking about today is very dark, and particularly about how Dumbledore might have manipulated all of the events in the series to ensure that he would gain some loyalty out of Harry Potter. This theory we're going to cover paints the Hogwarts headmaster as a secret supervillain within the series. Harry Potter is a massive franchise that is well known for the depth of its various ways of telling stories, as well as its complex layers of character design. As well as all of this, Harry Potter took all of these and contributed largely to its success. There is a huge ensemble cast of colorful characters within the Wizarding world, and each of their roles is individual in the 8-film saga, leading to various amounts of theories being created regarding various characters. One of the biggest ones, and the one we're going to discuss today, centers around Albus Dumbledore. Dumbledore is of course the Hogwarts' most famous headmaster in the series, and is a character shrouded in mystery throughout all of the films. Dumbledore becomes a mentor to Harry Potter throughout his time in Hogwarts, and he shapes him into the wizard that he becomes towards the end of the 8-movie series. Throughout his time in Hogwarts, Dumbledore mentors him and pushes him throughout the entire narrative structure of all 8 films. This makes Albus Dumbledore an incredibly important character in the Harry Potter films, and because of his significance, he could have changed everything. Because of his significance within the franchise, there have been a lot of theories diving into his true motives by looking at the subtext of all of his actions. This has made the character much more intriguing, and many fans have been looking closely at him. One of the biggest theories that we have seen through websites like Reddit suggests that Albus Dumbledore might have been a secret supervillain and a man who manipulated all of the events throughout the series. The theory goes that Dumbledore goes out and collects outcasts so that he can ensure loyalty from his various followers. The theory goes deeper into the Harry Potter universe and comes out highlighting the characteristics of multiple characters throughout the films, such as those in the Order of the Phoenix, as well as some of the Hogwarts staff. This also ends up fitting perfectly into Dumbledore's actions throughout the Harry Potter universe. The theory suggests that Dumbledore also deliberately turned Harry into an outcast by manipulating various things throughout his life. Though this is dark, the theory is very compelling and might be true. Dumbledore's most loyal followers are all outcasts. One of the biggest pieces of evidence that backs this theory is that many members of the Order of the Phoenix, as well as the various Hogwarts staff throughout the films, are all actually outcasts that sought to join him. Some of the most obvious examples from throughout the 8 films would be Remus Lupin, who ended up growing up as an outsider due to his illness. Severus Snape was a man fascinated with dark magic, but was offset by his love for Lily Potter and his Muggle blood. And finally, Hagrid, who is a half-giant, ended up being expelled from Hogwarts, leading him to be one of the Wizarding world's biggest outcasts, and one of the most popular characters in the series. Other characters fit this theory, such as Dobby, Newt Scamander, and even Harry Potter himself. The main reason why this theory points to Dumbledore picking outcasts is that he seemingly has an ulterior motive for all of it. On the surface, it looks like Dumbledore is just picking out these outcasts in an innocent way to save them, but it turns out there might be a dark motive for his actions. It's a possible thing that Dumbledore was responsible for all of these outcasts becoming who they were, as he had his plans for them in the future of the Wizarding world. He recognized that all of their abilities could prove useful in future battles, so he ended up making them outcasts so it would be easier for them to trust him. He took them in and made them feel more accepted than they were, and in turn drew them into his ranks in a way that Voldemort never could. How Dumbledore's less trusted acquaintances end up fitting the theory. According to this theory, even the character that doesn't exactly fit the pattern of being outcasts proved Dumbledore's ideas for them. Other characters in the franchise are much less unflinching in their support for Dumbledore, and aren't as outcasted as others are. This is a subtle characterization of them and seems to affect their overall relationship with the headmaster. Sirius Black, for example, is somewhat of an outsider, but not an actual outcast like some such as Hagrid. He is more of a rebel-type character who deliberately pushed away his family values and instead joined the Order of the Phoenix to fight against the future threats of Voldemort. Both Dumbledore and Sirius Black ended up joining together through mutual respect, not because Dumbledore affected his past. Sirius Black was never someone close to Dumbledore, as someone like Snape or Hagrid was, and he was actually in Dumbledore's closest circle of his own volition. This theory then goes on to suggest that Dumbledore ended up relying less on Sirius because he was a rebel and much more of a dark horse than his other subordinates. Dumbledore still obviously had his use for Siriusness and kept him around according to this theory, but he didn't have as much control over him as he did over his other outcasts. Harry Potter became an outcast because of the Dursleys. One of the earliest and most key elements of the entire Harry Potter franchise is his escape from his abusive and mundane Muggle world into the depths of the magical world of Hogwarts. Harry Potter ends up growing up with his maternal aunt and uncle after his parents were murdered. Throughout his time with them, Harry Potter was regularly mistreated. and his aunt and uncle hated Harry for his magical nature. Even though Harry was largely unaware of his magical nature, they made his young life miserable, and even made him sleep in a cupboard. After he ended up finding out about Hogwarts, Harry believes that he found his new home because it opened up adults to a world where he is famous and revered by all. This is a stark contrast to his previous life, and he wants to get away from his unpleasant upbringing. In terms of context for this theory, his aunt and uncle made Harry an outcast in more ways than one. Rather than just having Harry Potter completely isolated and even severely mistreating him, they actively discouraged his use and belief in magic. They even prevented him from having any link to the world where he truly belongs and deserves to be. During the first film, when Harry Potter finally does reach Hogwarts, he is at a huge disadvantage thanks to his aunt and uncle, as their intelligence for magic stopped him from learning about it in the first place. He knows literally nothing about his magic abilities, and this isolates him even further during the early days of his Hogwarts stay. Once he is finally in Hogwarts and placed into a house, he ends up discovering the depths of his powers and how alienated he truly was from his background. This makes him truly an outsider from the beginning due to his aunt and uncle's decisions, and decisions that Dumbledore might have had a hand in. Dumbledore placed Harry with the Dursleys to ensure his loyalty. The final part of this theory is that Dumbledore placed Harry Potter with the Dursleys to ensure his loyalty in the future. The theorists believe that Dumbledore placed Harry with his aunt and uncle to make sure that he would grow up in an abusive and intolerant environment. This therefore created a Harry Potter who was driven to Dumbledore's side, as Dumbledore accepted him as the child of magic that he is. This is the darkest side of this theory, and rarely paints Dumbledore as a huge villain in the series. If this theory is to be believed, then Dumbledore was the catalyst for basically everything that happened throughout all 8 films, even leading up to his death. Dumbledore created the desire for Harry Potter to reach out to that magical world, and ended up setting all of the dominoes in motion, which led to the final fight of the 8 films. This theory might sound a little outlandish, but please let us know in the comment section below what you think about all of it. Also, let us know your thoughts on today's video, as we would love to see any feedback. And that's the end of today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed this latest video. If you did, would you please let us know in the comment section below? It would be very helpful. Make sure to like this video, comment down below, and of course subscribe to the channel with the notification bell rung. Thank you for watching today's video. Bye!
Oh, Harry. You need a shave, my friend.
And I alone am responsible for its activities.
Dispatch an owl to the Daily Prophet. If we hurry, we should...
Yes, sir.
You do understand what I'm saying? Should I tell you to hide, you hide.